In this video, I'll be covering the complete guide to writing drums for beats in Ableton Live 10. We're going to stick to mostly drum one-shots from the Cymatics Hip Hop Essentials Volume 1 pack. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a good hip hop snare that I can use. Before I forget, set the BPM to 140. I'm going to highlight a 4-bar MIDI clip, insert the MIDI clip, and then draw in the snares. They're always placed at the exact same place, and it gives you a good feel for the rhythm of the beat you're going for. I'm going to insert another MIDI track, and this is going to be for the kick, and the process is pretty similar. You insert another 4-bar MIDI clip, go through some kicks. Hip-hop beat makers will typically always have a kick hit on the very first beat of the song. And you can also drop one before the kick. Duplicate this. And over here, instead of having it hit before the kick, you can have it hit after, before the snare, you can have it hit after the snare. Now it feels a little empty here, so you can add another kick right before the other bar starts. Well, to add kick variations, you can go to the 3rd bar and duplicate this until you have 3 notes hitting. And in the 4th bar at the very end, add another kick just to give it a little bit of variation. I'm going to insert in another MIDI track, and this is going to be for the hi-hats, or one of the hi-hats. Start with a very basic rhythm, and then you can make it more complex. Bring down the velocity on these a little bit so they're not as harsh. You can have the hi-hats mimic or mirror the 3 hits of the kick on the 3rd bar. Yeah, so we have how we want to sound in the first 2 bars. You can pretty much copy and paste this over onto the other ones, but not the first bit right here, because we altered it here to mimic the 3 hits, or to go along with the 3 hits of the kick. So everything else you can just paste right back on. If you want, at the very end, you can duplicate this part just for the variation, so it's not just repetitive and the same all the time. Actually, I'll change this part because it sounds a little off. You can even have it end in triplets. Maybe it'll work. You can insert in another MIDI track, and you can make another 4-bar MIDI clip and shift this over to your snare because we'll be adding in a couple more snares here. You can add in a whole bunch of extra snares and have them hitting in various spots just to give it a bit of more variation, change things up. I'm going to insert another 4-bar MIDI clip, and I'm going to select an open hat this time. That'll get the job done. And we can have this hit right before the snare. It's a bit loud. And for the fourth one, you can, just have it aligned with the extra snare hit that is right here. Kind of gives it another, again, just a bit more variation. Insert another MIDI clip, and we can select a rimshot type sound like that, and really just play with it at the very end of the 4 bars. Like that. Now I'm also going to add one last thing on every other snare hit, and that's this triangle sound. There's a whole bunch of these out there, so you can find unique ones if you're looking for something more specific or different sounding. Yeah, I'm going to put this on the 2nd and 4th snare hits. Like that. And this is how to make a drum beat in Ableton Live 10.